Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about another hilarious ICE detention where a literal tamale vendor was arrested in Chicago. And of course, you have the local media and her family and many others crying about it. I could not be happier about it. I hate these street vendors, as you know, if you watch my older video, which I made a couple months ago regarding the media crying about there not being street vendors in LA. I'll link that video over here. I cannot stand these people. Okay. It makes me sick every day when I go to work and I see these disgusting taco stands and other things on the street. Okay. They don't speak a word of English. It's wall to wall Spanish. Disgusting food, disgusting smell. I can't stand it. Okay. So I love it when these street vendors get dragged out by ICE. And this is another example of that. Okay, there's a lot of good stuff happening in Chicago when it comes to ICE. They're doing raids all over the place. It's absolutely beautiful. And I just want to share one of these with you.
Federal agents showed up and took multiple people into custody. One of them was Tamale vendor Laura Murillo. This morning, there was a show of support for her here, where her tamales were still for sale.
Yeah, they can show any kind of support they like. She's getting her ass dragged back to whatever Latin American crap hole that she came from. Okay, she was never supposed to be here, and now she's gone.
Laura Murillo's supporters sold the tamales she had planned to sell this morning. Her 18-year-old daughter was among those here.
I was able to talk to her maybe like 10 seconds. She just told me that she loved me and that she loves my sisters and to just stay strong. And yeah, that was mostly it. After that, the call, it hung up.
Customers lined up at 6 a.m. Many had never met the vendor who had been selling here for years.
My children are first generation, and I feel all of this. I want to help people as whenever I can, and this is...
Yeah, you nor your children should be here. First generation, meaning they're anchor babies, okay? Don't worry, soon you and your children are going to be dragged out of here, and it's going to be beautiful. Okay, look at the entitlement of these people. It's like, oh my God, aren't they so horrible? The American people trying to maintain their Anglo-Saxon heritage in this country and not wanting to turn into fucking Mexico. Okay, there's already a Mexico. If you love it so much, you can go live there. We don't want our country to turn into that because this is America. If you have a problem with that, you have a problem understanding basic logic, okay? And names and labels and other things that the left and these open borders illegals don't seem to understand. Now, first they have to understand English first, and then they can learn how the associative property works. Okay, there's a reason that things have labels. Mexico is one place and America is another. They're two different things, and we don't want one to turn into the other. Specifically us, we don't want to turn into Mexico. And you being here is not helping that. You're helping that process of turning into Mexico, and we don't like that. We don't want you here. You have no right to be here.
The way I can help. It's small, but I wanted to be here for support. I myself...
Yeah, you're not helping anything. Okay, we're going to drag all of the illegals out of here. You can sell all the tamales you want. We're going to take you and your tamales back to Mexico.
Just because I'm brown-skinned, it carried my U.S. Card today. Just in case, but...
Yeah, this has nothing to do with skin color. I've seen white people who have the same skin tone as you. This is not about skin color. This is about blood and where you were born and where your ancestors come from, okay? This is not about skin color, okay? I don't give a damn what your skin color is. Everybody doesn't have to be as pale as me to be in America. This skin color thing is so annoying. I'm okay with foundational black Americans being here. They're much darker than you. This has nothing to do with skin color. This is about who built the country, whose ancestors built the country, and therefore has the right to be there. Okay? That's what this is about. It's like how I can't break into your house and claim it for myself and stay there forever and have the same rights as you because it's not my house. I can't be there. Get it? The same logic for the country. America is a bigger house where my small house has been, and my ancestors have built houses in Delaware and Maryland and Pennsylvania. Okay, my relatives live there. They came from Sweden, most of them, Swedish, German, and Norwegian, etc., and English. Okay, these are all the people who built this country, and you are not among them. If we let enough foreigners come in here, this is no longer America. Okay, what does it mean to be American anymore if the whole world can just break in here? You should think about these things before saying stupid things like that. Skin color, please, man.
I myself, just because I'm brown-skinned, it carried my U.S. Card today, just in case, but sometimes it seems like this doesn't even help anymore.
Laura Murillo's family says she came to the U.S. from Mexico 20 years ago. The mother of three, one of them...
Been here illegally for 20 years. Of course. What else would you expect? Finally, now justice has been done now that she's getting dragged out of here. Okay, she's in detention now, but she will be deported very shortly. And it will be a beautiful thing when she is. One less tamale eater and tamale seller to worry about.
A special needs child also owns a Southside restaurant with more than a dozen employees.
Yes, everybody's got special needs children now because everybody's mating without any regard for genetic purity and for having good genes.
Sometimes we call them breeders.
Breeders.
How they reproduce, indiscriminately, with no regard for genetic purity.
Really?
Because the left is pushing this idea that, you are not noble if you're not disabled somehow. That's why everybody's disabled. Everybody's got some kind of problem. And we're veering off the course here. Okay. We're literally selecting for the sickest people. That's what the left wants. Everybody must be disabled. Everybody must have some kind of problem. Because if you're not a victim, then you're not noble. Okay. If you're strong and pure and beautiful, that's why they hate blonde white women who are thin. Okay. That's the group they hate the most because they're so beautiful and they're so perfect and they hate that. Okay, that's the worst thing you can be. You have to be disabled. You have to dye your hair and get piercings and ruin your body and have 20 million different kinds of allergies. Okay, these are the only people that are acceptable because we cannot be healthy. We should not be healthy. You should bring sicker and sicker children and more disabled children into existence. That is the position of people who are against eugenics. They don't want good genes. Eugenics literally means good genes. They want bad genes. Okay, the open borders left and some Christians want to have children that are the sickest of the sick, okay, and make our species weaker and weaker and more pathetic. And that's exactly what's happening, by the way. Okay, nature is taking its course. If you don't select for good genes, nature is going to select for bad genes. This is how natural selection works. It's worked for millions of years. Okay, nature is no longer doing the selecting. We are. Okay, and idiots are selecting the sickest and sickest people, having sex with the most disgusting, the ugliest, the most sickest people, and bringing out sicker and sicker children. Good job. You must be so proud of yourself, destroying the human species.
There were 20 vehicles full of federal agents, and they picked up the tamale lady, the damn tamale lady on the corner of 47th and Western who have kids.
That's not even true. They actually did a raid on a Home Depot nearby, and she happened to be there, so they picked her up because she's an illegal. And guess what? They were right. I guess profiling works. Okay, because the ICE agents know who the illegals are. It's not that hard to tell.
In college.
Immigrant advocates say witnesses told them Murillo was one of several.
And look at this thing. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is the kind of inferiority I'm talking about. Okay, this is the left's definition of who everybody should look like. Fat, ugly, and disgusting and sick. It's vile, man. It's vile. If anybody looks like the women behind me, which is basic human perfection, then that's wrong. That's racist by definition. These women existing in the world is, in the left's definition, racist. Okay, because they're so beautiful and perfect. Oh no, we can't have it. We can't have it. Everybody must not look like them, but look like this thing over here on screen. That's their definition of how we should all be. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Federal agents, and they picked up the tamale lady, the damn tamale lady.
Yeah, we're going to pick a lot more tamale ladies up, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. You're going to sit there on your fat ass and watch this happen. After you invade our country, you don't get to decide policy. You don't get to tell us who we remove. We decide that now. This is our game now. This is our country and has always been. Now we have a president who's actually doing what the real Americans want done. And tamale ladies are number one, and your abuelas are going next.
On the corner of 47th and Western who have kids in college.
Immigrant advocates say witnesses told them Murillo was one of several people ICE agents arrested near the BP station and Home Depot at 47th and Western Thursday morning. Murillo's fiancée was on a video call with her at the time.
When I woke up this morning, I thought it was a nightmare.
How are her girls holding up?
Well, we're trying to hold it together. The little one, well, we try not to tell her much. Mommy just went away for a little bit.
Yeah, mommy's a criminal who broke into a country that she doesn't belong in. You should tell your daughter that. And by the way, all of your asses can get yourselves back to Mexico and be with her. Nobody's stopping you. They don't want to leave because they don't actually care about her. That's what they're saying by saying they want to stay here. If you love somebody so much, you would go back with them to wherever they're going. I would. Okay, I would. But I guess you love yourself more than you love your wife or your girlfriend, whatever.
Steps include setting up a detainee phone account so Murillo can make more calls to loved ones.
Seeing the support really kind of gives you some relief that something might happen when the community comes together. It's kind of powerful what it does. So
Nah, nothing's gonna happen. ICE is gonna drag your mommy back to where she belongs because she invaded a country that she shouldn't be in. You can gather up thousands of people, millions of people. It doesn't matter. Okay, the law is gonna take its course, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. ICE is not going to be intimidated by you or any community support. A community coming together to support a criminal who broke into our country. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure the authorities are going to take notice of that.
Just a lot of emotions going on right now.
Murillo's relatives say she has no criminal record and they have obtained an attorney. She is currently...
Yeah, she does have a criminal record, actually. She broke into a country that she doesn't belong in. That's called a B&E. Okay. So yeah, you can hire 1,000 attorneys. It's not going to help you because your client is guilty. Okay. Or civilly liable, technically. Okay. And the reason we don't file technical criminal charges is so we don't have to give them trials. That's why immigration arrests are intelligently designed to be civil procedures. So they're shorter and we don't have to give all of them trials, because if we charge them criminally for breaking and entering into the country, then we have to give them trials, and it's going to take years, literally, to finish up the appeals and get their fat, ugly, disgusting asses out of here. And we don't want to go through that, so we could categorize immigration arrests as civil procedures, even though we all know breaking into somebody's country is a crime. Okay, that is morally a crime, but legally, technically, it's a civil offense, so we can get them out of here faster. Okay, now if you re-enter the country after you've been removed by an immigration judge, that's a felony. So they can prosecute or remove them. And that usually they just ship them out of here because we don't want to prosecute. Okay, so they don't file criminal charges. Instead, they just deport them, which is possible after you break into the country once again. You re-invade the country after you invaded the first time and were removed by a judge. But anyways, Tamale here is gone back to Mexico and she's never coming back. Okay, and if her family wants to be with her, illegal as, then they can go back to their country. Again, 20 years here illegally. And after the law has been fairly applied to her, they're whining for her to stay even longer. See, this is what I'm talking about. They come in illegally and they never want to leave. This is why we can't let any of these people in. Because once you let the legal ones in, then the illegal ones want to come in too. And the legal immigrants help the illegals. That's why we got to cancel this legal immigration and illegal immigration and prevent any of these people from coming in. Because all you're doing is inviting more problems when you let third worlders in, legal or otherwise. There shouldn't be any path to citizenship. That should be reserved for the people who built this country and their relatives and their descendants. Okay, not random people who just want to come here for a better life. You're gonna have to make your countries better, not come here and take advantage of everything that my ancestors have built here, and the ancestors of other people who actually built America, and none of them came from Mexico. Okay, and that's the bottom line for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys in my next video.